I want you to guess what car we're going to be test driving over here today. We're over here in the USA, Washington, Seattle, as they call it. Beautiful state, beautiful place, amazing weather. But what would somebody who's in Seattle be driving? Would it be that Kia, that Honda, that Audi e-tron, that Mazda 6, or that Kia EV9? What do you guys think? Yep, you guys guessed right. It's definitely the Lincoln Navigator. Have a look at that. That is the big boss dog of Seattle. Or you could say USA. The ultimate touring car, the ultimate Boeing 747 luxury barge. But is it as good as everyone says? We're here from Australia. We want to find out that will this thing be compatible in Australia, traveling the vast distances, power, comfort, and size. Why don't we go there and find out? I have a soft spot for digital dashboards. You can see that we've got the sat nav, which is controlled with the Apple CarPlay, popping up in the dashboard. And if you have a quick look down here, it's very American. You know, it says normal, effortless, and balanced. It shows me the moon, and then if I go down to normal, just 4x4 confident. Oh, shift in progress. There's a few driving modes in the Navigator. So if you have a look, there's the Excite mode. Now, if you want to outrun the police, you want to get away from some bad things that you've done, I would highly recommend Excite mode. That'll get you away. This car is a beast, very powerful. We'll talk about the engine later on. We do have Conserve mode, so if you want to be a little grandma, enjoy going at 20 miles an hour or 20 kilometers an hour, you're very welcome to do so and hold up the traffic behind you with the left blinker on. Now, you've got Normal mode. Normal mode is same, boring, everyday, mundane driving, traffic, stop, start. Fair enough, you can use that one. And then you've got your normal 4x4. You want to go up some hills, you want to climb, go into some sandy terrains. Fair enough, nothing too hardcore. You can definitely do that. And you've got your slippery. Let's just say you want to go to the glaciers, or you want to be the Titanic. Now, that's probably not a good example, that sank, but you know what I mean. You can definitely get some road grip, enjoy the different terrains. Deep conditions, heavy snow or mud. So if you're down in the desert, if you're down in the rainforest, America is a very big country. It's got its tropical areas, it's got its cold areas, dense areas. You can definitely do that. We've got your deep conditions. That's where it ends. So yeah, hardcore off-roading. That's where the mountain lions are after you. That's where the grizzly bears are after you. I think this thing will definitely get you away from them. No questions asked. Alright, enough of me talking about the dashboard and all the different modes. I think let's go. Let's give it some and see what it's got. Driving on Seattle roads is a big car. There's no denying it. It's a very, very big car. How does it handle? I mean, how does it actually command its road presence? We've been driving this Navigator for a few days now, and quite frankly, I haven't really felt the size on the roads. It handles very well on the roads, actually. They've done a very good job engineering the chassis. They've done a very good job engineering the suspension. And, you can really, really feel the thought that's gone into this vehicle. It's big, yes, but it doesn't feel as big. The only time this car does feel that, you're driving half the world is when you're in car parks, or you're going through a drive-through, getting a coffee. That's when you really do feel that, hey, this car, the dimensions are actually more than I can chew off at times. And that's why it is a touring car. You wouldn't drive this every day into the city, or you wouldn't drive this every day into a car park. You want to take your family along. You want to get the kids. You want to get the boys. You really want to enjoy the American terrain. You really want to enjoy what this car has to offer you. And we've been through some serious distances already, and it genuinely has surprised us. Comfort-wise, engine-wise, and technology. It's got everything in it. Have a look at that. Just have a look. I can go on and on about what this car comes with every single day. when I first landed in Seattle, I got into this car, took the keys, and first thought that came to my mind was, this is massive. In Australia, probably the biggest SUV we can get, or the 4x4 we can get, is a Toyota Land Cruiser. But this thing is just a behemoth. Look at it. I've got my own time zone in this area, The driving seat has its own time zone. I've got my own atmosphere over here. And I'm a guy who enjoys my personal space, and this thing is just fantastic. I got inside of it, first drive down the highway, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit intimidated at first, thinking, man, this is a huge car. Is it gonna be alright going into the city? We've got plenty of meetings to do, we've got places to be. But it's been alright. The infrastructure is so well built over here to accommodate these big cars that they don't look so big anymore. And I've only had this for 3 days. I'm already used to it. So you can imagine the people that have grown up here, for them, this is just any other day car. It's nothing that special for them. But, first thoughts and first experience was, it's big, it's beefy, and intimidating. And every time I get out of it, I look back to lock the vehicle, it hits me again that, damn, I'm flying an aircraft, this is not a car. One of the most impressive things about this car is actually the suspension. I can see why these American government officials, the higher up ranking ones, they all roll around in these Navigators. All these big businessmen, billionaires, they always have a Navigator at home to just roll around in, whether they're driving it themselves or whether they're being driven in it. It's comfortable. You've got all the room in the world. You're on a hotel room on wheels. And as I've mentioned previously, you've got your own space in each cabin. And I feel like doing business in this car. Every time I sit inside of it, whether I'm driving or whether I'm in the back seat, I just feel like opening some new business. Whether or not it's a hideous business, but that's a different story. But, I feel like a super entrepreneur. And I think this is the essence this car brings. And this is why this is such a legendary nameplate when it comes to the American SUVs. The Navigator. You navigate around the US. You can navigate around town. And, Lincoln being Ford's luxury arm, you get all the Ford goodies inside of it. And hey, you might not like some of the Ford goodies. There's a very mixed reaction of people what they think about the Ford cars, but I genuinely love them. They're good cars. They're one of the oldest in the world. Definitely they are doing something right. Yeah, they've got some reliability issues time to time. What car doesn't, look at Toyota. For the last couple of years, more or less every new SUV model's had a recall. The Lexus LX600, the Toyota Tundras, metal bits are being, the shavings are actually going into the engine, and the whole engines are being recalled. So, when it comes to that reliability factor now, I think that's a bit of a urban legend now. We things are changing, technology's changing, it's getting better, whether you like it or not. This isn't the 90s anymore, and I personally love it. I love the fact that the cars that were sort of overshadowed in these previous years, they're really shining now. Now, my favorite part of this car, and I think all of you guys and girls would love this part as well, is I actually thought this was a 5-liter V8. I thought it was a Coyote engine, the 5-liter V8 that the Fords use. And the first day, the whole day, we were like, oh man, this is a very punchy V8. It goes hard. But then we realized it's not a V8. It's actually a 3.5-liter V6 twin turbo, outputting 440 horsepower, 0 to 100 in 5.6 to 5.8 seconds for something the size of a planet. I think that's insane. There's no other words for it. You can hate it, you can bag it out, whatever you think of it, but you need to give the car credit where it's due. So why don't we see what this 3.5-liter twin turbo engine, which the Ford F-150 Raptor uses, can do in this big luxury barge. Let's give it a shot. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing that something this big can move this fast. Honestly, it is mind-blowing. This thing goes, it punches hard. I don't know where all the shit was coming from. I don't know why people were getting all that crap for the 3.5 liters. Look, I'm a V8 guy myself. Everybody knows this. But you got to give credit, you got to give kudos to an engine which deserves it. I generally think this car would kick ass in Australia. We have a big landmass. You know, just Western Australia alone, we can fit 6 Californias inside of Western Australia. Just let that sink in. 6 Californias. The population of California alone is 30 million. The population of Western Australia is 2 million. But you can imagine how big our landmass is. And for a country that big, I don't know why we don't have these. I genuinely don't know why we don't have these big SUVs. Look, whether they're American, whether they're not American, but we should have these. We should have big cars that cover big space to cross a big landmass in comfort. How good would it be if you can cross the Nullarbor with this thing? You got your family in the back. It's a nice 4x4. You can tow a few things. It's comfortable. You would barely feel the drive. But no, you know, they're like, man, we want a Toyota Land Cruisers, you know what I mean? We want a government white Toyota Land Cruiser. Or that 79 series V8 donk. You know what I mean? It's yeah, I'm hating on it. You're inspired by a 100-year-old 79 series which can barely breathe. You know, it's like an asthmatic person who's had one too many cigarettes in his life. I mean, come on, guys, be open-minded. If you're truly a car enthusiast, you truly enjoy cars, then give these things a shot. I've got nothing bad to say besides, you know, when you turn, it does feel like you're maneuvering the Titanic. It's big, it's fat, it's bloated. But you know what? I like that. That's the true spirit of the USA. And I genuinely believe we should have these cars in Australia. We should give it a shot. I think the Aussies would love it. The Aussies are great people. They love their cars. But just be a little bit more open-minded about the Yanks. That's the best thing I can say. So one thing that I'm upset about is the fact that Sam just stole my fact. That's something that, you know, I carry very deeply, and I go around sharing that fact, which was the size of WA alone is 2.5 million square kilometers, correct? I'm going to tell you like a professional now. WA is 2.5 million square kilometers with a population of roughly around 2 million people. California is 600,000 square kilometers with a population of 30 million people. So put that into perspective, that you could fit 6 Californias inside Western Australia and still have room. That's how a professional delivers it. What do you think about that, Sam? This is what I think about it. This is what I think. There's that 440 horsepower, beautiful twin turbo engine, and you know, one of the cool things about this car is it actually has 30-way massage seats. It also has a autonomous driving assist on the freeway, which means that on approved freeways, the vehicle can drive itself. These cars were assembled in Louisville, Kentucky. Don't know where that is, but all I know is they got some good damn chicken from there. Anyways, the rest of the car, you're sitting in the back, right? And I was telling the boys this yesterday. What America has done very successfully is they've fused 4x4 vehicles with luxury people movers, vans, you could call it. I'm sitting in the back. I've got all this space here. I've got all this, you know, I can spread my legs. I'm completely comfortable. I can put a side table here. Put a little vase there, put a few books, make a nice little setting. I've got my own armrest. And again, like Sam said, he's in his own climate. He's in his own ecosystem. Now, one thing I do wish this car had was a feature that we had in the Cadillac Escalade, where there is speakers around the whole vehicle and there is microphones in your seats and in the roof. So every time I'm speaking to someone in front of me or on the right of me, my voice is translated into the mic and sent in through the speakers, just because of the vast land space you're covering over here, right? This is nearly the size of the Nullarbor. So other than that, I feel very comfortable in the back. The car is good. It feels premium, feels business. It primes your mind towards wanting to just go out there and be the best version of yourself.
ETC カードが挿入されていません。